You're listening to the Impact Implosion on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
My co-host is Mike Poland.
Hello, everybody.
This episode, I believe, is going to be called What the Hell. I hated this episode. Let's just get that out of the way.
This episode was kind of meh. It was okay, but wasn't as good as last week's.
Yeah, let's talk about the news.
All right.
In the news here, Christian's going to be at Bound for Glory.
Christian?
Yeah.
Why?
Part of that WWE trade thing. Still the second part of that WWE trade thing. He's going to be there to induct Sting into the whole thing.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, basically, yep.
I forgot about that, actually.
Yep. WWE is not hiring any ex-TNA talent right now because of the lawsuit.
I read something about this earlier. That's why Flair was not the 1,000th Raw.
Yeah, that's why several of them are there. There's been plenty of...
And that's why Morgan hasn't showed up yet.
Yeah, they'd both be on WWE right now if this lawsuit wasn't going on.
Right.
So yeah, TNA's cock-blocking people.
Yay.
There's been rumors that TNA talent want Brooke Hogan gone.
So do I.
There's been rumors of people just pressuring them to get rid of her.
But she won't be gone because she's Hogan's daughter. She's Hulk's daughter.
Yep.
Unless Hogan goes, she ain't going nowhere.
Agreed. Also, there has been a rumor, and I cannot confirm this. This is news. Really, news with a Z kind of stuff. There's been rumors that Jesse Neal has apparently been living out of a car lately.
So apparently his food stamp money ran out.
No, it's not that. He has personal issues. Even his ex-girlfriend...
What's her face, Fonieri, dumped him or something?
Yeah, she left him. Yeah, she did leave him. She said it was amicable, but she said he does have issues.
Who would have thunk it? Someone who hangs out with Shannon Moore has issues.
And when they mean by Jesse Neal has issues, they're talking about mentally.
Uh-huh.
And because of all the Navy stuff, wrestling. It's really not even the wrestling that's probably screwing with his head.
He's having dreams about Charlie, apparently.
What?
He's having flashbacks to when he was in the Navy or Army or whatever he was in.
He was in the Navy. He was one of the survivors on the USS Cole.
And I have a feeling he's having flashbacks about that.
Yeah.
And that's what's messing with him.
Yeah. Also, apparently Kurt Angle threatened on Twitter to leave TNA, then later changed his mind.
Damn you, Kurt.
Yeah. Yeah, threatened to leave TNA if he wasn't main event.
Yep.
And I guess he said, I'm going to WWE if you don't put me in the main event. WWE ain't hiring ex-TNA talent. Correct.
I guess I gotta say, shit. They're not doing anything with me.
Yeah. Now we gotta talk about the Impact show, and we start off this thing with Ace and Danates arriving in the arena, which looked like an opening for Sons of Anarchy.
They're either the Hell's Angel or 2012's version of the DOA.
I know. No, I was saying, you ever seen Sons of Anarchy, the FX show?
I think I've watched a couple of episodes, but I haven't really...
It's kind of like that. It looks like that.
Oh, God.
And it's got its own theme music and stuff. Then they go back to the roster. Well, no, what happened last week. And them beating the stuffing out of James Storm.
So obviously he's not the behind it.
Yep. Then we see Sting make his way out of the ring, joined by Kurt Angle, Austin Aries, Bully Ray, Gunner, Jeff Hardy, Devon, Robbie E, Robbie T, AJ.
What the hell are Robbie E and Robbie T out there?
I don't know. I guess it's supposed to be a unified roster against these guys. So anyways, Sting tells security that he tells Aces and Eights that he sold security to leave the gate wide open for him. So he's wondering.
That's always a good idea. That's always a good idea.
Yeah, always a good idea. He says he has a group of men coming ready to fight, and then shows a montage of all the people attacked by Aces and Eights. Then two people from Aces and Eights come. TNA tells the guys outside the ring to let him in. And then as soon as they get in the ring, they get the rear ends kicked.
And one of them, I believe, is Wes Briscoe, right? The one that got unmasked.
I don't know who either of them were, but one of them said, "I just got my patch today," or something.
Mm-hmm. That
So
makes
basically,
sense.
he was initiated.
Wow, that's an interesting initiation. Get your ass kicked by Kurt Angle for 5 minutes.
And he was like, and he promised more hell to come.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
Then we had Brooke Tessmacher come out.
Yep.
Brooke Tessmacher thanks Brooke Hogan for doing the right thing last week on Impact. But tonight it's not about the Knockouts Championship.
It's personal.
It is personal. Every day she wakes up and looks in the mirror. She wonders if she can beat the one person who taught her everything in the business, so she top challenges Tara. Non-title match.
And she loses.
Yep. Tara beats her. So
We should actually
I guess
build up possibly a Knockouts title match at No Surrender. So that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine by me.
They both, by the way, they both hug in the end. Actually, yeah, this would be a good idea to have them do that.
Especially since they don't have Mickey right now.
Yep. Didn't we? What
She
happened
injured?
with Mickey again? I don't know what's wrong with Mickey. Where is Mickey James? I don't know.
She ain't been around in the last month or so. She was on when they had that whole tag match, or was it a 4-way before Hardcore Justice, where Mass and Rain won?
Yeah, I know.
That was 3 or 4 weeks ago.
That was the last time we saw her.
Yeah.
Anyways, after the match, Tara and applauds Brooke, and they both hug.
Yep.
Okay, kept telling me that Mickey's birthday is on the 31st, and she's been off doing photo shoots and movie videos.
Alrighty, that explains that.
Yep, that explains that. Thanks, Kev. Anyways, we see footage of Aces and Eights attack D'Angelo De Niro, slamming the gate into his shoulder.
And he's out of the Bound for Glory series.
Posted on Twitter to post that picture of his shoulder separation and said, "Yes, I'm out."
Mm-hmm.
Then Thing is in the office with the three people who were supposed to face De Niro, were left to face De Niro: Robbie E, Rob Van Dam, and AJ Styles. He says, "Well, I can't just give you forfeit wins, so you three are going to enter the ring, and one is going to get the points.
And the one you least expect is going to win."
Beating the Pope, and I say that in quotation marks. Oh yeah, and Robbie T will not be involved.
Good for him.
What happens next even worse? Match 2, Rob Van Dam versus Robbie E versus AJ Styles.
This is a good match. This is a good match.
It was okay. Yeah. I knew AJ wasn't going to win it because he still had that whole tourney test thing, and they don't normally give people two goods in one night. So I knew he was out, but Robbie fucking E wins.
I don't know. I'm fine with that.
Clean, by the way. Well, not dirt sheet. Well, not completely clean, but he won because RVD Frog Splashes AJ Styles, and then Robbie comes up in small packages RVD for the win. So yes, if you're counting, Robbie E pinned somebody in this tournament.
Haha, he actually wins.
Yeah, and that means he's ahead of the Pope. He's going to be ahead of the Pope in the end. And he has no more matches in the Bound for Glory series.
So what was the point of him winning?
Just to say Pope was in last place.
Why does it matter? Because he's out.
I don't know. DNA logic. Anyways, Jeff Hardy comes out in face paint that if he closes his eyes, he looks like Kermit the Frog's deformed brother.
Ew. So not a good look.
It looks terrible. And then he comes out and says, "Tonight ain't about Bound for Glory." I don't know. I suck at Kermit the Frog.
He's not. Tonight's match is not a Bound for Glory series match, and he challenges Robbie T.
He wants Robbie T.
Because of what happened like a month or so ago.
Yeah, Robbie T's. Yeah, put him through a table. This was a quick match. Jeff Hardy wins. Was there any doubt?
Mm-hmm. No doubt at all. Jeff Hardy gets to win in like 2 minutes.
Yes. After the match, Hardy celebrates.
I hope he doesn't get paid for that one.
Yeah. What?
But I hope he doesn't get paid for that one.
Anyways, we see Frankie Kazarian and Christopher Daniels talking about the big reveal of whether AJ is a fathered child. And Daniels says there's going to be a lot of more questions even with this reveal. And then Daniels offers Kazarian an Appletini. But Frankie refuses.
Just because.
Frankie knows that's something. Yeah, Frankie's looked at his friend.
Frankie's straight edge.
Yeah, Frankie's looking at him. You got an addiction, buddy. Anyway, after a commercial break, we go back and see Sting. He is giving aces, and Sting looking crazier than normal. Talking about how he's given aces and eights carte blanche, and that he is easy to find. Anyways, then we get to recap the history of the AJ Styles situation. Then Jerry Bush is in the ring with a piece of paper. Whatever's written on that piece of paper, you will never know, by the way.
That's the mysteries of wrestling.
Yeah, because AJ
Because
comes
this segment quickly
out the
turns into a
ring.
clusterfuck.
AJ responds because the fans are like, "Who's the daddy?" Chance, and he's like, "Because we'll find out now. Come on." So yeah, dealing with that stuff. Like, dude, I want to figure this out too. He then says he is sorry. He is sorry to his friends.
I'm sorry.
He is sorry to the fans for having to put up with this. We not that you better apologize to us for that, and most of all to his family. AJ says he cannot remember that night, and something happened with Claire. But AJ says if he is the father, he will accept responsibility for the child because he is a man who takes responsibility for his actions. But if the child is not his, he doesn't want Daniels or Kazarian to ever talk to him again.
Speaking of Daniels and Kazarian.
Yeah, it's Claire supposed to make her way to the ring, but Kazarian and Daniels do instead. And Kazarian asked AJ if we are supposed to believe that he cares more about about he says AJ Styles cares more about the brand of AJ Styles than his family. He tells AJ that he makes him sick, and it is selfish pricks like AJ who make people act out and create a world of bullies like we have never seen. Be a star, kids. Or you'll end up like AJ Styles. Kidding.
Oh, boy.
Anyway,
then Daniel's brought it
like
on.
It is absentee fathers like AJ that explain why the prisons are so populated by people who don't care about their families because they never had a moment with their dad.
Blah, blah,
he then
blah.
says AJ has always cared about the phenomenal one, and he has to start caring about the little one. Daniels wants to talk about the damage that has already been done. He asks Claire he asks AJ, where was he when Claire was in her time of need? All AJ did was turn his back on her. Daniel said, week after week, the stress built up until it turned into physical stress. And he then admits Claire's not here tonight. She's in a Florida hospital and she suffered a placental disruption, and the situation is touch and go. He then says he knows that his fans will wish him well in a speedy recovery.
And then we have the lawyer.
Yeah, well, actually, Daniel says he wants to know if AJ is happy now. Was protecting his reputation worth all the pain and suffering he put through Claire and the baby? Then we have Claire's lawyer come out.
And it's not Joseph Park this time.
No, it's not Joseph Park. It's a woman lawyer. And honestly, I'm guessing all of that stuff about her being in the hospital for placental disruption must have come out of AJ Daniels' ass. Because she clears things out that he says that here's the note. On January 2012, she was approached by Daniels and Kazarian to be part of a scheme to frame and blackmail AJ Styles. To her deepest regrets, she participated in numerous illegal and unethical activities. She even put sedatives in a beverage for AJ. Photos were then taken to perpetuate the fraud and create blackmail. Date rape, kids. Although that will be cleared up later. She says that she is ready to take responsibility for her actions, and she regrets naming AJ as the person responsible for her pregnancy because she was never pregnant. So that thing was a pillow under her, really? Or is she just a big woman? Actually, that second one can work since she's olive oil. And since we all know she's olive oil, the Universal Studios ride, and olive oil's skinny.
I'd hate to see who Popeye is.
This was part of a plan to cause irreparable harm to AJ's career, and she asks AJ to forgive her someday.
All right, I have one small problem here, and that's I know that Claire, obviously, the person who plays her, works for Disney, as we talked about last week.
Well, no, works for Universal Studios. They have a Popeye.
She works for the studio,
Universal
yeah.
Studios.
But why couldn't they have kept her an extra week to have her explain this?
The Popeye ride people didn't want to.
What the fuck?
They were so pissed. He's playing a risque character.
Come on, guys. Well, you could have had her back after she explained herself. The hell?
No, I guess not. Anyways, the lawyer leaves. Then AJ kicks Kazarian and tries to get Kaz, but Kaz goes out of the ring.
Good. Yep.
And
this never-ending feud will continue.
Unfortunately, yeah. Well, actually, won't be at No Surrender because
we need Sherry Lewis to sing the Lamb Chop theme. Except this is the feud that never ends, and not the song that never ends.
Yeah. Anyways, we go to a gut check video with Chris Louie. He says wrestling was the first thing he was ever proud to do in his life. It's kept him straight. He was blessed to get the call from Al Snow to get the chance to work for TNA. He says that this is a fight and he's going to get the contract. There's nothing for him back home, of course, except his family. But he has no job, apparently. And he will get a chance. He says that he is more motivated than any previous gut check participant or most people in the back, and he will entertain the fans. We then see 3 members of Aces and Eights walk to the back. Sting stops them and wants to know if they are playing games. Sting does 52 pickup. He gives Hogan the bat, and Hogan beats up some members. And Hogan has the... Yeah, he has that kind. He has the warrior-like snarl. And he's like, "Leave my daughter alone. He will rip out their hearts. If they ever look at his daughter again, he will rip out their hearts and feed them to the dogs." Hogan snarls and Sting calms him down. Whoa, Hogan, going too much warrior there. I'm sure was in his mind. Then, after a commercial break, we look at Sting and Hulk Hogan beating him up again. Then we take a look at Alex Silva, who won the first gut check challenge. He says it didn't feel real to him that he got the opportunity, and it gave him the chance to be a TNA superstar. He needs to focus and concentrate on being the best professional wrestler in the business. But there is no way he will stop until he achieves that goal. Yeah, and we have no knowledge of when he'll be wrestling in TNA. Then we had Chris Louie looking out of shape.
Louie.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but he was out of shape. This dude did not look like a guy who I could believe as a wrestler at this point. And his opponent, Mr. Intensity Gunner.
Because, wait, why? I thought they had to face like champions, or was that just the first few weeks they did it? The first few times they did it?
No, that was only once they did it with Aries facing.
Oh. They did it with Joey Ryan too, didn't they?
They did, yeah. They only had him to champion face Ryan, yeah. This was a bad match. You know, this was Ryan. Louis tries a Samoan Joe drop, and it looks horrible.
I didn't even watch this match.
I did, and I'm like, this guy is supposed to be. You know, I understand the backstory, and he really had me. And then he wrestled. And then I was like, oh, hell no. So, yeah.
Chris Louis looked good, but... Chris Louis looked good, but from what you're saying, he's not very good.
He did. You mean he looked good in those promos?
Kind of looked like Robbie T.
He's bald. Yeah, he really is. Anyways, Gunner tries a fireman's carry position, drops him. You know, I'm thinking he's supposed to do like some sort of like wasteland, like Wade Barrett does, but it looks slop. It looks bad. And Gunner gets the 3 count. Then we have Ken Anderson walk through the back, and it says he's going to call somebody out. Then we are at the back with ODB on the phone with Eric Young, and she still wants her beer and chicken. And she tells him to come home, and you know. Anyways, Ken Anderson makes his way to the ring with his 40 points, and this being his final Bound for Glory series match, he says he's fighting the baddest and toughest, so he's challenging Bully Ray. Now, you would think with Ken Anderson being 40 points and the fourth place person being 50 points, you would.
Was she trying to stalk Jason Harvey at the end of that segment, by the way?
Huh?
Did we talk about the ODB thing? Was she trying to stalk Jason Harvey?
I have no idea what she was doing.
Looked like it. The only thing I can think of is Jason Hervey, get away from her right now.
Yeah.
She ain't Winnie Cooper.
Yeah.
She ain't Winnie Cooper.
No, that was the other one. Who's supposedly dating Winnie Cooper. That was the other brother, not Jason Hervey.
Oh, that was Kevin?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. That was Frank Savage.
Yes,
we did have a Wonder Years reference. Anyways, you'd think with Ken Anderson having 40 points and the guy in fourth place that he needs to tie with has 10 points above him, you'd think he'd go for a submission here. Nope. This was actually a good match, but Anderson went for the pin and eventually won with the pin.
Yep.
So, yes, Mr. Anderson has 47 points.
This was a good match, too, by the way.
I said that it was a good match. But the problem being, Mr. Anderson has 47 points, which means he's out of his Bound for Glory series because he has no more matches. So yeah, good job, Mr. Anderson. You didn't get a tap out. You pinned the guy.
Right.
That's
you could have had 10 points, buddy.
What? And even the announcers said afterwards, well, it looks like he's short. And he has
way to go, Ken. Way to go. You get no title shot this year.
Yep. Not even the top four.
Unless either Storm, Joe, RVD, or Angle get hurt.
Or they get DQ'd.
Wait, has Anderson faced all of them yet?
Anderson's done, yeah. He's faced everyone.
Oh, yes, house shows and Explosion and all that shit.
Daniels and Mr. Anderson are done.
Oh, yes, house shows, Explosion, and all that shit that I don't pay attention to.
Yeah, care about. Yeah.
That's why they shouldn't do those on house shows, but they gotta find some way to make it go 4 months.
All right, yeah. And that's the last Bound for Glory series match for tonight. And we'll get to that afterwards.
Will they have any, of that the last until No Surrender?
No, there's still some more Bound for Glory series matches to go.
The way they were talking about it, they said it was, is this the last for those guys that were in it?
Yeah, those are the last guys that were in it. James Storm still has one more match to go. Joe has 2 more. Rob Van Dam and AJ Styles have 2 more to go.
And Angle has
Kurt Angle has 1 more to go. Bully Ray
Kurt's
has
will probably happen on TV next week.
Yeah, Bully Ray has 2 more to go. Jeff Hardy has 2 more to go. And everyone else is done. Well, Robbie E. Yeah, Robbie E's done, too. So, yeah. Jeff Hardy still has matches to go. So, basically, several people are out. Anyways, we go to the final segment. Well, before that, we had the Aces and Eights leader saying
Darth Vader.
Segment, they will unleash hell and they will do what they do best because they have been playing their game, and now they will.
Why does he sound like the guy that does the video packages for TNA?
I have no idea. Anyways, everyone's in the ring,
and we got a big brawl.
Yeah, because there's a million freaking members of Aces and Eights, apparently. Did you?
And basically it ends with Aries getting his hand crushed in the guardrail and getting whacked in the chair.
They're like, look, every member of Aces and Eights that goes down, there seems to be another coming back out.
They're like ants. They just reproduce quick.
Yeah, or rabbits.
Yeah.
Yeah, they attack. Anyways, Aces and Eights surround oh yeah, we never find their identities because none of them get unmasked while unconscious.
I think we're saving that until Bound for Glory. That's when they're going to do the big reveal on that.
I know. Yeah, that's probably what they are going to do. Anyways,
TNA try to do big summer storylines like WWE does, except in this case it's actually better than WWE does.
Ain't much. Anyways, Aries gets attacked. He gets his arm slammed into the guardrail. And I hope to God they are not doing the thing they did with RVD 2 years ago.
Taking him out and having...
With Aries,
is that the only way they could think to give Rude the belt back?
I don't know, but honestly, no. Yeah.
He can't beat Aries, so we're going to injure him, and that's how he's going to get the belt back. That makes sense.
We can't have Storm and Rude for the belt, so we're going to injure Aries and have Storm versus Rude for the belt at Bound for Glory anyways.
God damn it. I knew they were going to mess it up eventually.
You know, I knew they had a plan, and the plans changed, and TNA needs to realize that. So, yeah. And as somebody revealed, we got to point out the Bound for Glory series results right now. As far
yes, James Storm with 66, Joe with 61,
RVD with... Go first. Pope has 7 points and is done. So Pope will be in last place unless Pope will be in last place. Robbie E is in 11th, and he's done with 12. Magnus is done with 28 points because, well... No, wait a minute, never mind. There was a house show, I got to mention, that was before this Impact, that AJ Styles pinned RVD in Spencer, Iowa.
Yes,
Anyways,
the house show, yet again, another BFG series house show match that should be on TV, but you know. Yeah.
Anyways, number 9, Daniels, who's done with 33 points. Number 8 is Jeff Hardy with 42 points, and is not done. Number 7 is Mr. Anderson with 47 points, and he's done.
Anderson is done.
Tied for 5th is Kurt Angle and Bully Ray with 48.
AJ Styles has 50.
AJ Styles is number 4 in that cutoff line at 50 points. RVD has 55. Samoa Joe has 61, and James Storm 66 points.
Yay. Good for him.
I hate to say this about this Impact, but this was a bad one. Which is why I said, what the hell? Because really, that's all you can say about it. It was a mess.
Yep.
You had bad gut check, and if this guy gets signed, it's all freaking work. I'll tell you that right now. If this guy gets signed, it is a complete and utter work. It will just be the death nail on that.
Yep.
We had this Aces and Eights thing where nothing happened, except Aries gets hurt.
That's because they can't figure out a more productive way to take the belt off him.
True. You have Robbie E. win. Hey, he's got to win at least once a month.
Hey, he's got to win at least once a month. He's got to win at least once a month. He's got to win at least once a month. He's got to win at least once a month. He's got to win at least once a month. He's got to win at least once a month. He's got to win at least once a month. He's got to win at least once a month. He's got to win at least once a month. He's got to win at least once a month. He's got to win at least once a month. He's got to win at least once a month. He's got to win at least once a month. He's got to win at least once a month. He's got to win at least once a month. He's got to win at least once a month. He's got to win at least once a month. He's got to win at least once a month. He's got to win at least once a month. He's got to win at least once a month. He's got to win at least once a mon
Lieutenant RVD. Oh,
Good
job, RVD decides that he's going to let Robbie E beat him.
Well, I mean, lesser of the evils, I guess.
Oh, that's the worst of evils.
Why? They're not like
Robbie E winning this match was probably the worst thing out there, and it means Pope is going to be in freaking last place, which sucks. Hey, you're hurt. We're going to put you in last place now. Ta-da! I mean, toodles.
yes.
The only one good thing they did was they completely wrote Claire Lynch off TV.
Yay. No more Claire Lynch, but yet the AJ Daniels storyline lives on. The storyline that will never die.
Yes, it will never die. It is immortal. It's the Highlander.
There is only one.
Yes, there can be only one useless storyline that never ends. So yeah, really, I know people are going to be like, if this is based on what TNA's going for, it's not a good sign. Wait, you like Robbie E, Mike?
I like him as a wrestler. I don't like the gimmick. I said that like a year or so ago when we were doing Ring the Bell still. He's a good wrestler, it's just a kind of a bad gimmick.
He doesn't really look like he's even really wrestling that well, but I guess the gimmick kind of hampers that.
Yeah, it's a thing gimmick.
Yeah, this is horrible Impact. You got to mention though that Robbie E told one of the guys to let him in the VIP stuff. Remember that? Because you couldn't get Robbie T to do it. Robbie T's been banned from ringside, so he tells somebody like, "Hey, hey, you open that freaking rope for me." So anyways, not much otherwise in news portions.
Yep.
Other than that. Oh yeah, and I forgot one more thing. Apparently TNA was shocked at the fans' not really big reaction towards Taryn Terrell.
No.
Yeah, they weren't completely shocked, but they were like, we expected a bigger reaction to this. I'm sorry, nobody knows who Taryn Terrell is. I'm sorry, it's not a big deal.
It's not like you're bringing in Lita or Trish Stratus or anything like that.
Yeah. So yeah, although they do like her as the referee, so yeah.
And it's not Earl Hebner intentionally fucking up balls.
Although technically, I actually think that a female referee for the knockouts is a bad idea.
It makes sense.
It makes sense. Hey, Stevie J, she had promo. She liked to enunciate. That's what Artie Reynolds loved in her promos.
Speaking of,
She liked to enunciate. Anyway, do you have anything to sell?
I have plenty. I have tomorrow night, since we're not in Friday yet. Tomorrow night, Top Quality Wrestling presents a show in Unity, Maine at the Raceway featuring an ultraviolet tag match between the Hoods and the Minutemen, as well as a match between Scotty Vegas and Rob Marsh. And we'll also have a bunch of other stuff, including fire spinning of all things, and a bunch of other things. August 31st, IWE back in Fairfield, Maine, featuring ROH's diehard Eddie Edwards. Taking on
that fire spitting. Chris Ricky Steamboat did it.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, they have some girl that does it with, like, batons or something. Or, like, hula hoops.
Okay.
Anyway, we have diehard Eddie Edwards taking on Mark Moment in a Fans Bring the Weapons match. We have the first title defense of new champion Gino Martino against Sonny Roselli. We have the TV title on the line. The former partners finally collide as John the Bomb Breyer challenges the TV champion Crash Landing. And we have a 6-man tag signed as it'll be the Tenacious 2 and Frankie Flash taking on the Towers of Pain and Ricky Williams. And yes, I am. Sorry, Stevie. And also...
The new one.
Yeah, September 1st, IWE back in Brewer for the event called Laysation. I believe it's how it's pronounced. We have a title match between Gino Martino and Big Gene Jarreau. We have a tag title match between the Towers of Pain and Tenacious 2. And we have a women's title match, as it will be Mistress Belmont challenging Naughty Adriana in a Belmont's House of Fun match. And also, again, September 22nd at Northeast Wrestling will present Wrestling Under the Stars, featuring a press conference with Hulk Hogan. Also on the card will be an appearance from Rowdy Roddy Piper. And we have a Falls Count Anywhere match with Brian Anthony and Matt Taven, as well as Jerry Lawler and a DJ of some sort. Actually, he's a former New York Yankees player, but I don't have his name in front of me right now. Against Romeo Roselli and Luke Robinson. And yes, they do. They do that for a lot of their shows. That's why they don't run a lot of shows during the year. Well, they bring in a lot of legends. They brought in. They're bringing in Hogan and Piper for this one. They've got Lawler. They've got a tag match just signed with Rosita and Madison Rayne, taking on the Beautiful People with Lita as the ref, and much more to be signed, including Vader, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Sammy Callahan, and others on the card.